Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I'm always at, even with the bunged up foot. And this is Shokugeki no Soma, also known as Food Wars, chapter 280. 280 chapters, guys. We're so close to hitting 300 chapters of this wonderful series, and it is entitled The Aroma of Comeback. Kind of weird, honestly. Like, I get what they were going for, kind of weird, but either way, guys, let's get cooking because this chapter, a lot of people will probably pan the first half of it, but I've missed this. I cannot pan this because I missed it. I missed what this chapter represents, and I spoke about that last chapter. This is just back to basics of Shokugeki no Soma, and it's wonderful. It's great. We see, once again, can't show panels, guys. Very sorry about that. Don't want to lose this channel as well. But this shows a lobster-style dish, which looks very delicious, honestly. Big plump pieces of lobster and stuff in this beachside dish. $40 or whatever it is, the equivalent, a piece. Like, damn. Like, I'm sorry. I live in Atlantic Canada. We have some of the greatest seafood fish in the world. Notably, some of our things include lobster, scallops, and mussels. Those are some of our biggest. This is where you come in the world if you want the best. And I can honestly say, $40 is more than I pay for a lobster dish. And I have literally some of the best lobster in the world. So, like if we go to a restaurant, it's probably between $30 and $40. But for a beachside thing, I'm like, no, boys and girls, this is steep pricing. That better be imported Atlantic lobster to be going for that type of price. But of course, they surmise this as saying, oh, but look, it's such a delicacy. I feel like, a bootlegger's wife sort of idea. Darling, please buy it for me. So it seemed to work out. And of course, they managed to, according to this Ken-san person, I cannot say Daiken, Tsuka, Anba, whatever his family name is, but this Ken person that second year that was all, oh, the Elite 10, I'll take your seat sort of idea, who couldn't beat Soma in the previous chapter, now is here, and we're going through his stand and such, and everyone's praising him because he managed to convince he used his potentially Yakuza boss father's name to try and get half-price lobster, and it seemed to work, so they're making a really good profit on the food. That's a good way to do business in a sense, You get a good deal on steaks, and you double the price when you cook them. Still quality steaks, but you make great profit off every steak you serve. Makes the most sense. Then he starts looking at the other characters, and he looks at Ibisi's son and people like that, who, of course, is the big smoker, and all he does is smoke and smoke and smoke. We have, smoked sausages and smoked curry and smoked this and smoked that and smoked the other thing. Everything is smoked with this guy. Love it, though, because a master smoker, if you're a meat lover, or even if not, I've had smoked cauliflower, for God's sakes, and it's divine. Smoking is an art form. It's not something that everybody can do. It's not something that everybody has the flavor for. But if you really concentrate and get the proper smoker and really perfect the technique, real smoked food is incredible. It can be incredibly flavorful. So that I can understand why they are pulling away a lot of his business. So they're talking about it like we should be able to reach our target market. We should be able to reach our target market. Then the lunch crowd is supposed to show up, and all of a sudden, beach is empty. Beach has nobody, and we know exactly what happened. The Elite 10. The Elite 10 happened, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the third day. This is all the way back once again. I won't search for the volume this time, but it's all during the Chinese battle between Soma and Kuga. Same idea. Perfecting it, building up the place, figuring out what to serve, and making it all happen on the last day. Now, they make a yakisoba, and I'm probably butchering that name. And yakisoba is something that I would be very hesitant to try because I am not a huge. I don't mind eggs, but I do not like eggs on my burger. I don't like eggs in traditional certain noodle dishes in Japanese cuisine and things like soba and stuff. I don't like the whole egg thing, the boiled egg or the crack the egg open onto the noodle. I never like that. So this dish probably would have tons of flavor, but it's not something that I personally would enjoy. I don't believe. Now, would I enjoy everything aside it? And maybe would I enjoy the egg? Maybe I would, because the idea of this dish is really good because they combine the best of all their techniques. We have the fish master, and we have Soma, who's just inventive as hell, and we have Hayama, who could mix the right blend of spices to make the perfect idea. I believe the syringe thing was probably his idea or something similar. Probably mixing all this, but like the proper aroma to bring the crowd through. Once you broke open the egg with the syringe, you push in all the acidity and stuff that you garnished from the squid and all that stuff, and it just molds into this beautiful smell that everyone is drawn to. It sounds like an incredible dish, and they apparently used they chopped up squid finely. They used tomatoes, and they used just a combination of things. They have onions and olive oil soaking it all in that stuff. And I love the fact that it's in these takeout containers because that is exactly what you get at the beach. You get a sushi takeout container, or you get one of those almost cardboard style ones like for fries on the beach, which are always the best fries, let's be honest here. And it's so nice to see that they didn't try to do the whole plate thing, because it's like nobody, like if you sit down, sure, but a lot of people at a beach, you go up to the food stand, you grab your food, you go back to your blanket, and you sit down like a picnic sort of idea on the beach in the hot sun. You don't sit down and do that. No. Everyone drags their food to the blankets on the beach or the towels or whatever. So this makes total sense to me. I really enjoyed seeing just that little bit of detail. Something about it, guys, I was like, ah. But maybe that's because, of course, I'm Nova Scotia, so I'm literally almost we're almost an island, for the love of God. Drive 35 minutes in any direction in Nova Scotia, you're going to hit a beach. So that's just the way it is here. So maybe I'm more accustomed to that stuff, but I'm really glad to see the detail put into that little factor. And also the fact seeing them go all demon-esque, because of course Ken-san comes over and Ken's all like, what's going on here? Like this aroma, and he's the one deducing everything. Really nice. And then he looks at Hayama and he goes, this was your doing sort of idea. He goes, but you've made such a complicated dish, there's no way you could do it. What are you pointing at? And Hayama was just like, look at those three. You think anything's going to stop those three from getting shit done? And you just see Soma and Aldani and Rio and stuff, and they're just going at it like demon chefs. And it's just like, yeah, Elite 10 style. I like it. And we get to see a full frontal of Alice in bikini. Almost forgot that. We see her. She's the one advertising in 50 seconds or less, or something to that effect, because the translator's notes at the end stated that the amount of money they made versus the amount of time that somebody did the math pretty much and worked out that it took much less time than even Alice promised. But it's also a ridiculous amount of orders per person, per hour. That would not be feasible. I don't believe that's feasible. But of course, once again, this is shonen. This is why we read it. It's supposed to have some, the food's supposed to be realistic to a point, but the overall part is that these are out there. These are the Iron Chefs. This is a drama. And it's fun to see. But I like that someone actually took the time to do the math and figure out the actual how many orders would they have served per amount of money and such. That was kind of cool. Props to you. Anyways, no, the chapter was really, really good, guys. Now, of course, Ken-san, he gets one on the house, has his foodgasm over it, sort of like, this is worth 1 billion. And it's like, okay, all right. I would rather see like some girls go gaga over it, but whatever. We're getting swimsuits. We're good. And that's basically so the end of the chapter shows that they made like 6 million yen or something like that. It's equivalent to over double of what they needed. It's equivalent to almost 60 grand, and they needed like 27 grand or something like that. So it's double or more than double of what they actually required, which once again is a stupid amount of money for a beach to make. Like, a stupid amount. Like, there's no, but once again, this is shonen. I'm okay with it because once again, I'm so happy about this chapter, guys. I'm so happy. I'm very happy. It felt like it flew by, but if you just read the details, like I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, the acidity from a tomato would do this. Like, once again, because I like cooking, I enjoy being in the kitchen when I have the motivation to, actually decide to do something in the kitchen. I like developing new flavors and different marinades and trying different things. I enjoy that. So when I read this series and I see chapters like this that explain like, okay, we did this little thing a little different than a classic dish, and we decided to do this and this because that takes away from the bitterness but adds a sweetness that's not normally present, but it works so well because we added this one other ingredient. I love that shit, guys. I love it. So that is why this chapter for me has been the best chapter, I believe, like in months. I'll give it months. There's been some solid chapters in the past months, but there have been some duds. But this one to me has just been one of my favorites. It was such an enjoyable read. I went back and read it again, and I just finished reviewing my One Piece review when I all of a sudden reloaded the page, and there was the Shokugeki no Soma. I read it. I went, okay, I got to review this too. Set it up, and I went, I'm going to read that again. And then I read it the third time. I had to keep reading, and not just for reference to make sure that I could, get everything across and not forgetting anything, but because I do that anyways, regardless of how many times I read page by page, and I don't want to make 19 cuts in a video. But also the fact that I just enjoyed reading the chapter, and I would linger on, the lobster dish at the beginning, and then the smoked sausages and such at the, that they were making, the Polar Star Dome was making, and then all about the explanation about infusing, the syringe in the kitchen. Who would do that? And the injecting into a soft-boiled egg over all this soba dish. I love it, guys. I love it. This is what, there's key points in the series that have nothing to do with food and a lot to do with character development, which of course I also love. But chapters like this are necessary in Food Wars, are necessary in Shokugeki no Soma, and I love it. I have ranted on long enough about how much I love this. I'm having a foodgasm myself over here. Okay, I'm good. Don't need to change the underwear yet. Either way, guys, that is the end of the chapter and the end of the review, because I could just keep saying I love it for another 5 minutes if I keep going. So let's call it the end of the review. What did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell me how much you love this chapter in the comment section down below. Usually I say, guys, it's okay to comment anything. No. I challenge you. I challenge you to tell me why this chapter was bad. Argue with me. I'll be one of those guys. I'm going to let the internet get to me just for this one video. And I will stand my ground and I will argue every single time with someone who says this chapter sucks. I will actually engage the trolls. This is a one-time offer, guys, and it only lasts until the weekend. It only lasts until Saturday. So get those trolls going in the comment section down below if you want a piece of me, because this chapter was just made me so happy. What a happy Thursday. Even after a shitty day at work, even after my bum foot, what a beautiful chapter. I'm just enjoying this series once again, guys. It is fantastic. That being said, guys, this has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews. As always, Shokugeki no Soma Chapter 280 review. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Drink responsibly, as always, and we will see you back here next time for Chapter 281. And man, am I excited. Excited. Thanks, guys, for watching. See ya.